Good morning students, welcome to your next lecture of mathematics, operation of fractions. We are going to move with the next video on subtraction of fractions in today's lecture. So let's again begin mathematics with some examples so that you can understand how to solve the subtraction of fractions. So our first example, so let's move towards the first example, that is 3 2 upon 5 minus 2 1 upon 7. So here the first method, as we have learned in addition, we have to take the integral numbers together and then the fractions. So I am going to take 3 minus 2 in one bracket. Then if it is minus, we have to subtract. So in between I will put a plus sign, because we know if we have to write in mixed form, we have to put a plus sign in the between. Now 2 upon 5 minus 1 upon 7. So 3 minus 2 is 1 and 2 upon 5 and 1 upon 7, the denominators are different. So we need a common denominator. We all know that if we want to add or subtract a numerator, we should have an equal or common denominator. So to make it common, we have to first find whether both goes in each of the tables. No, here they are odd numbers. Not only that, the prime numbers, they don't go in each of their tables. So we have to cross multiply. So I am cross multiplying 7 over this side and 5 over that side. So 2 upon 5 into 7. Now if I am multiplying 7 in the denominator, I have to also multiply it in the numerator. So 2 into 7 minus 1 into 5, 7 into 5. Now 1 plus 14 upon 35, 5 upon 35. 1 plus 14 minus 5 is 9 upon 35. Now 9 upon 35 is a proper fraction. When the fraction is in proper form, we need not divide it anymore. We can directly write it in the mixed form, because we have a plus sign in the middle. Also it is a proper fraction. So the answer is 9 upon 35. So this is the first method. Second method, you all know, multiply the denominator, add the numerator with the integral number. So method 2, here I am going to do 3 into 5 plus 2 upon 5, 2 into 7 plus 1 upon 7. 3 5 are 15 plus 2, 17 upon 5. 2 7s are 14 plus 1, 15 upon 7. Again the denominators are different. We have to cross multiply as done in this, since it doesn't go in the same table. So 119 minus 75, we get 44 upon 35. Now 44 upon 35, this is an improper fraction because the numerator is bigger. So what we have to do to convert it into a proper fraction, we have to divide it. So while dividing 44 and 35, that is 44 divided by 35, I get the answer as 9 upon 35. So when I divide it, I got the answer. So just check it back. The answers are same. Now remember one thing, when you are doing this, you can take any method of your choice. Need not solve the both methods. You can take up any one method. It's up to you which is easy for you. You can take up that method. Now I guess you all have understood actually what we are doing in subtraction of fractions. Still, what I'll do is now I'll take the practice set 10, where we'll be solving some more questions on subtraction and some for your homework purpose, that is for self study. So let's take up the questions from the practice set 10. Now the first one in the practice set, the question is 3 1 upon 3 minus 1 1 upon 4. We can take up any one method as such. but I'll be solving two methods for you all. So just take up the first method here. What is that? To take the integral numbers on one side, fractions on the other side. So 3 minus 1 plus 1 upon 3 minus 1 upon 4. So 3 minus 1 is 2 plus, now denominators are different, we have to make it common since it doesn't go in any table of each. 4 doesn't go in 3's table, 3 doesn't go in 4's table. I'll be cross multiplying as usual as we had done in the addition. Don't forget to do this because without common denominators we can't move forward. Now 4 1s are 4, 3 4s are 12, 3 1s are 3, 4 3s are 12. Now 2 plus common denominator, so 4 minus 3, that is 2 plus 1 upon 12. Since it is a proper fraction and we have a positive sign plus sign in between, I can directly write the answer as 2 1 upon 12. Now when I go to the second method, I will be doing this in the form of multiplication and addition. Three 3s are 9 plus 1, 10 upon 3, 4 1s are 4 plus 1, 5 upon 4. So denominators are different, cross multiply. Four 10s are 40, 3 4s are 12, 5 3s are 15, 4 3s are 12. Common denominator 40 minus 15. I have got an improper fraction. So I have to divide it. 25 divided by 12. The answer is 2 1 upon 12. I guess you all understood now how we have done. Again, once again, as a reminder to you all, need not solve both the methods. You can take any one method whichever you find easy for addition as well as for subtraction. Now moving to the next question of your exercise. Coming to the next question, we have here, that is, I'll take up third question because second one is also so easy. So third one, 7 1 upon 8 minus 6 1 upon 10. So method 1. Method 2. Now in method 1, integral number to be taken in one side and fractions on the other side. So 7 minus 6 plus 1 upon 8 minus 1 upon 10. Method 2, we will do it later on. 7 minus 6 is 1. Again 8 and 10 are different denominators. Doesn't go in any of the tables, like in 10 doesn't go in 8's table, 8 doesn't go in 10's table. So cross multiply 1 into 8, 8 into 10, 1 into 10, 8 into 10, 1 into 8, 10 into 8. So 1 plus 10 upon 80 minus 8 upon 80. So 1 plus 10 minus 8 upon 80. 1 plus 2 upon 80. So I'll divide it because 80 and 2 goes in the same table. I'll divide it more if you want. What I'll get is 2 1s are 2 and 2 40s are 80. To reduce it, how much ever we can reduce it that much as possible. So the answer, we cannot divide it or make it small anymore, and it is a proper fraction. The answer is 1 1 upon 40. So this is the first method of subtraction. Second method I'll go is, I'm going to multiply the denominator and add the numerator. So 7 into 8 plus 1 upon 8, 6 into 10 plus 1 upon 10. 7 8s are 56 plus 1 upon 8. 60 plus 1 upon 10. 57 upon 8. 61 upon 10. So again I have to cross multiply because the denominators are different. I will be cross multiplying on both sides. Now subtract for 570, 488. 488 should be subtracted from 570. I will get the answer as 82 upon 80. So now I have to divide it. I will get 1, 2 upon 80 itself. As I said, we have to reduce it more as possible because 2 and 80 goes in the table 2. I will reduce it as 1 upon 40. Okay. Now it's your option whether you want to reduce it or not, but if you reduce it, it's well and good for your exams. You will learn it because in your higher standards you always have to reduce these proper fractions which goes in the same table. If it doesn't go like this, then you can leave it as it is. So I guess you all understood how to subtract the fractions. I'll give you 2 sums for homework which you can practice it in your notebook. Now the questions for practice. The first one, 5 1 upon 2 minus 3 1 upon 3, and the second one we have is 7 1 upon 2 minus 3 1 upon 5. So these are the 2 questions that you will be practicing for your homework purpose in your notebooks. Not only those questions, even all these questions you have to do it in your book as your reference purpose to understand how. The more you practice the questions which we have solved and which we have done solve, the more you will understand about the concept of subtraction of fractions. Not only that, any other concepts of mathematics. So now we have completed with the basics of how to add and subtract. Let's move on to the word problems on addition and subtraction one by one now. So in the same practice set 10, we have 3 word problems. Each are different from one another. We will solve it so that you will understand how to do these addition and subtraction in your notebook. Yeah. So moving to your word problem. Here we have a question that Suyash bought 2.5 kilo of sugar and Ashish bought 3.5 kilo of sugar. So both the children, Suyash and Ashish, bought 2.5 and 3.5 kilos of sugar. How much sugar did they buy all together? That means together in total. How much did each of them buy? If we add whatever kilograms we will get, that is the total weight of sugar bought by them. Suppose a sugar cost per kilo of sugar cost rupees 32, then what is the actual cost of the total sugar brought by Suyash and Ashish? So first we have to find how much kilo will it be when I add both of them, those who have brought the sugar. Suppose if one has brought 2.5, I'll add it with 3.5, whatever the total is, that I'll be multiplying with per kilogram cost of sugar to get the total cost of sugar. Now I'll move ahead with the statements. In word problems, remember you need to write the statements and then solve addition or subtraction of fractions. So problem set 10 again, question number 3, solve the first one in it. Sugar bought by Suyash 3.5 kilogram. Sugar bought by Ashish 2.5 kilogram. Sugar bought all together 3.5 plus 2.5. Here I am taking up only one method, but here also, which the method I am taking, if you find it difficult, you can choose the other method which are best in working on with the addition of fractions. So I will be taking the second one. So 3 into 2 plus 1 upon 2 plus 2 into 2 plus 1 upon 2. So 12 upon 2 we can divide it, as the numerator is bigger, it is improper fraction. Divide it, you will get the answer as 6 kilogram. So total sugar bought by Suyash and Ashish is 6 kilogram. Now, cost of one kilogram of sugar equals to rupees 32. Therefore, cost of 6 kilogram of sugar. Always remember, when you are given the value of any one item or one quantity and so much of quantity is asked, just multiply. Again, if you are given the cost or information of one thing and you are asked of many things, just multiply it with the rupees asked. So 1 kg is given, sugar cost is 32. For 6 kg, how much? It is 32 into 6. 32 into 6, 192 rupees. So the total cost of 6 kilogram of sugar is rupees 192. So this is the solution for your question number 1 of problem set 10. Understood? We are going towards the next question from your textbook. Aradhana grows potatoes in 2/5 part of her garden. There is a big garden in front of her house. In that, the garden is divided into some parts. 2/5 part of the garden is only of potatoes. 1/3 of the garden is greens, all the greeny vegetables. And the remaining part, it is not given, just said as remaining part is brinjals. So how much part of the garden is she planting brinjals? So what we have to do, we don't know how much big is the garden, we don't know how much area she took to plant brinjals, we only know the information of how much she took for potatoes and greens. So when we add, suppose it is one plot, okay, we are going to add potatoes, the area grown for potatoes and the area grown for greens. After adding whatever fraction we get or answer we get, we will subtract it from 1, so that we will get the answer of the total area planted for brinjals. Now brinjals, before that let us find the total area of potatoes and greens. denominators are different, we can cross multiply it. So total part of the plot which is taken for planting potatoes and greens is together 11 upon 15th part of garden is taken for potatoes and greens. So now we have to find the part of plot left for brinjals equals to so we have got here 11 upon 15. So 1 minus 11 upon 15. So no denominators. So we'll put 1 in denominator. Cross multiply. We have already done this addition and subtraction. So now children, what is the answer we got? It is 4 upon 15. Therefore, part of plot for brinjals is okay. Understood this sum? Again here we have to add first, then subtract. We have one more sum left in your exercise. It's a bit tricky but not tough. We'll do it that also. In this sum you had direct addition and direct subtraction. No mixed fraction were given. So it was easy for us to directly subtract or add the numbers given in numerator and denominator. So now solution number 3. Before solution we'll read the question. What is the question? Sandeep filled water in 4/7 part of an empty tank. Now Sandeep had a water tank in his house. In that water tank he filled water up to 4/7 part. Now after that Ramakant also filled 1/4 part. Sandeep filled 4/7 part, Ramakant filled 1/4 part. Now Umesh has used 3/14 part of the tank to water the garden. From this Umesh had taken water for garden. Now if the tank has the maximum capacity of 560 liters, the total capacity, that means the tank can be filled up to 560 liters. How much liters of water will be left in the tank? Now we have to find if this is the water filled by Sandeep and who is that, Ramakant, and after that Umesh has also taken the water back. So how much water is actually left in the tank? Now before that, considering all these above things, what we have to consider is only the water filled by Sandeep and Ramakant. Okay, so let's start our first process in this sum. We are going to start with the total water filled by Sandeep. Water filled by Ramakant. It is now water used by Umesh. Now what we will do is, to find the actual answer, we have to add Sandeep filled plus Ramakant's filled minus Umesh used. That means these both filled the water, so we'll add it. He took the water away, so subtract it. So for adding, I will add 4/7 and 1/4 and subtract it from 3/14. Now when I take up all the three denominators, each of them is different from other. So we'll take a common number for all these denominators, the number which goes in all the tables, like in 7's table also the number will go, 4's table also number will go, 14 also it will go. So I'll take up 7 4s are 28, 4 7s are 28, 14 2s are 28. So 28 is the common LCM, we could say, that goes in all the three numbers. So I'll take up 4 into 4 upon 7 into 4, 1 into 7 upon 4 into 7, minus 3 upon 14 into 2 into 3 into 2, that 4 into 4 16, 7 4s are 28, 1 7s are 7, 4 7s are 28, 3 2s are 6, 14 2s are 28. Now first we will add, after that we will subtract. Common denominator, so 16 plus 7, 16 plus 7, 23 upon 28. Since we have equal denominators, I will directly subtract it. Here, see, here it became easy as we got common denominators. How we did find? We found it by taking the common denominators of all the three numbers. It was easy for us to subtract here at the end. So 23 minus 6 we have to do and get the answer. We get the answer as 17 upon 28. So the statement that comes, this is the water left, but we have to find it in liters. So before finding in liters, let's write a statement. Part of water left in tank Therefore, in liters, part of water left in the tank with capacity, what is the capacity of the tank? 560 liters. Equals to 17 upon 28 into 560. When you do it, 28 into 2 is 56 and 0 comes up. 17 into 20 we get 340 liters. Therefore 340 liters of water is left in the tank. So this was a solution of the third question. Once again I am saying, Sandeep filled some water, some part of the tank was filled with water by Sandeep, some part of the tank was filled with water by Ramakant. Now we have to add this, the water filled by both, to get the actual proportion of water filled in fraction form. And Umesh has used some water after they filled, that is 3 upon 14 part of the tank. So when we add it and get the answer, subtract it from Umesh's fraction with common denominator. When we got the answer here, this was the fraction form of water left in the tank, but we need to find the water left in the tank in the form of liters. So the total capacity of water in the tank is 560 liters. To get the actual water left in the tank, I multiplied 560 into the fraction we got, and after dividing and multiplication I got the answer as 340. So the answer is 340 liters of water is left in the tank after having all these actions into it. So here we complete addition, subtraction of fractions. So this completes your basics of lesson, in where you learnt about conversion of fractions, that is from improper to mixed. Also we learnt about proper fractions. Now here in this video we had some normal sums on subtraction of fractions and word problems with both addition and subtraction of fractions. Now we are left with some more concepts in this lesson. We'll be going up with all these concepts in the next video. Thank you students for watching my video.